Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube. If you are, we are recording live here at The Stooge. Have a great guest today. Sorry about missing last week. We had two amazing artists set up, but day of, they had stuff come up. What can I say? Life happens. In 2020, life has been happening a lot. So sorry we kind of just took last week off. I hope you missed us, if I'm being honest. But we are back today with the amazing Mr. Mitch Jump. Woo woo! Of If Anyone's Listening, a podcast available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
iTunes. Apparently, if you yell at your Alexa, it will play the podcast.
Oh,
no one
yeah.
has done it. I don't have a spy surveillance.
All the analytics have told me that no one has done it yet, but
yes,
they can try. Damn
you
it.
can try.
Hell yeah. Mitch, Grand Rapids born or no?
Kalamazoo,
a little south of the border of Kent County. That's or Ottawa County. Any Jew. You can follow Mitch's podcast on Spotify at If Anyone's Listening. You can also follow it on Instagram at If Anyone's Listening. There you go.
Natural plug, dude. Natural broadcast.
Well, what am I doing wrong again? Oh, jeez. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, Mitch.
Dude, thank you for letting me come here. This is making my podcast feel like a piece of shit, dude.
I hope not.
You got a producer. I see myself on 8 different screens up there. Ours is just getting drunk on Zoom.
Oh, hell yeah. But I mean, that has its perks as well.
It does.
It doesn't matter what you're wearing below the belt. Well, and are you doing video on Zoom? I believe so.
We look at each other. We just don't release it.
Yeah. And after looking at each other privately, we decide it's better not to release it.
And one of my co-hosts has Austin at shout out Nutted on My Balls. He has a real knack for picking background images I don't necessarily want people seeing.
I don't necessarily agree with, but I think those go hand in
Last
hand.
week's one was photos from Mandalay Bay. He just had a whole like slideshow of
Beautiful.
Stephen Paddock's hotel room.
And I was gonna say a big. I was going to say Easter egg for listeners or viewers, but once again, video not released. You're 69 episodes in?
Yeah, well, 70 when I get home. Nice. Yeah, you need a nice drop.
Nice. Yeah, there we go. Nice. There's the first idea. Jake, you actually need a mic, so then, okay, I'm letting everybody know we're working on getting a soundboard here to have drops ever so pleasantly dispersed throughout the podcast, and then we had further thinking, we were like, oh, but we need drops to then have, and I think the best idea then would just have Jake have a microphone because he has the best drop voice, the best reactionary drop voice, and then, or you know what, you record your own reactions to the episode, send them to whereisthis going pod at gmail.com. Yes, screw that band's email that someone else now has. But, email your drops to whereisthis.going.pod at gmail.com, and you could be featured on the podcast if you weren't already.
And I have a few questions real quick.
Yes, please.
One, am I allowed to talk to the producer?
Yeah, he's here. I mean, he's a person. Yeah, he's playing the mic.
I didn't know if he was working, you're not supposed to talk to work.
Don't talk to the man, he's working. He's busy.
Then I guess my second question is, are there any words I'm not allowed to say on this podcast?
I mean, I guess words that you wouldn't.
I'm talking about me personally.
Right.
Are there any words that me, a cisgender white man, can't say on this show?
Okay, well, these rules aren't specific to this show, but if you want me to give you a lesson, I can. Honky apparently enrages the nation. I don't know why. No.
Racism is real. I was called a honky the other day for not wearing my mask.
Top 5 reasons to reasonably get called a honky. I was at the what's it called? The Jimmy. What's that restaurant in Newaygo? Oh shoot.
Oh God, don't get me
You
started.
saw
Lego, dude. Oh, the one that's open and shit.
Open, no mask. Every hat that you saw was obviously a red hat.
Dude, I saw this one tweet that was, it's actually one of those things where you think about it and I'm like, that is true. You will never see someone wearing a Make America Great Again hat backwards for the sole fact of, well, I'm sure there's more than just this one of wearing it backwards,
Right.
but like no one is gonna wear that hat without being able to like make eye contact because you're just gonna sucker punch,
with whoever's
you know?
gonna read it. Yeah.
Like those people are just getting reactions, you know?
Right.
Like,
And if you're wearing it backwards, you're only. It's like the stupid bumper stickers. They're just like enraging the people behind you. Like you're not seeing their rage building up for the intense blow coming to the back of your head.
yeah,
And
I
or
love people
your
with like
car.
aggressive bumper stickers.
It's a questionable move, I'd say. Like I used to have weed bumper stickers on my car, like an
you're
idiot.
a brave man.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was idiotic. I had just gotten my card. I just got my med card, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna advertise now, as my mom so eloquently put it, and it was definitely what I ended up doing. But I also put weed stickers on a car that didn't last me the summer, so I don't know if the experiment could have gone longer.
I have this idea for, and this is actually based on experience I had where I'm like, I think everyone, if you're listening to this, guys, and you're nervous about getting pulled over by the police or, you know, after an accident, I have a foolproof method to save yourself. Just keep a Blue Lives Matter sticker in your glove box, you know, so you don't have it.
Right.
But like the minute you get into an accident or a fender bender, you like, you know, run out. You don't even look to see if the other person's okay. You just slap the Blue Lives sticker on. You're like,
You get
I'm
back
good,
in your
dude.
here actually.
Yeah.
Like, no, here's my insurance.
Yeah, dude, I got my car totaled by a Marine recruiter who literally said to the cop, he's like, yeah, I didn't see him. And he like smoked my back passenger side door. And the cop was like, oh, yeah, this is definitely his fault. And then he's like, oh, I'm a Marine recruiter, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck me. And I'm like, I'm getting
The cop
fucked.
explains, oh, no, definitely his fault. And then he's like, but wait, I have this other unforeseen part of the story that you can't tell from the physical evidence. I'm in the Marines. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have
dude,
all the facts.
The other cop, the second cop comes over, and I'm just like pissed as fuck 'cause my car just got totaled. And the cop comes up, and he just totally says the opposite of what the first cop. So he's like, oh, no, this is absolutely his fault. And I'm like, man, fuck you, dude. So I got the ticket, got my car totaled, and then a week later, I ran into that cop at a gas station, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where he like came up to me and he remembered me. He's like, listen, Mitch, I had to give someone a ticket. I don't enjoy doing it, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, I would rather have you just, you know, stick it to me than have empathy for me.
Right.
You know, now my insurance goes up. I
My
don't have a
insurance
car.
doesn't have empathy, and it doesn't react to yours right now.
Yeah. And then he followed it up. He's like, hey, did you see anyone steal a car just now? And I was like, no.
Also,
'Cause,
can you hit me up with a lead on this investigation I'm
yeah,
on?
dude. And someone at this gas station just stole an SUV with a bunch of loaded guns in it. And the guy's running around the
hell
gas
yeah.
station. He's like, there's loaded guns in there. And I was like, well, someone's getting fucking smoked tonight, you know?
On another man's dime.
Yeah. And another man's serial number, more importantly.
It's a code word for dime. I love, though, that obviously the situation impacted both of you. You especially for a great reason, but him also. For you to know that you ran into the same cop at the gas station a week later, you're
yeah.
like, no, I remember this fuck's face. But also for him to also remember your face and be like, hey, Mitch.
Yeah, you remembered my name, dude. I was like, fuck
first
you.
name basis with no preface. I know you're upset, but
But have you seen the guy who just stole a car? It's like, even if I did, I'm
but
not
can you
telling
help me do my job better this time? That's what you're here for. I just needed your review real quick.
That was when I became a libertarian.
Get these punks off our streets. We'll do it ourselves. How about that? That's what the guy who stole the SUV was doing.
Yeah, he was liberating that SUV.
Exactly, liberating those guns. What's the difference between a libertarian and a vigilante? I really don't. Is there? This is an honest question. It's not the setup for a joke.
Capitalism.
That's amen.
Well, the weird thing is,
Brother.
I feel like vigilantes are very, I think when I think of a vigilante now, like the first thing I think is the guys who make minor accounts, and then
Right.
like bring pedophiles to a park and record them. I would say vigilantes are not libertarians because 9 times out of 10, the person coming to the park is likely a libertarian.
Right.
One of
Wait for.
one
Are
of
you
the
saying pedophiles are libertarians?
Yes, dude. One of the pillars of being a libertarian is knowing all the age of consent laws.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the only things libertarians do know.
I know my rights.
Like, I don't know how the executive branch works. I don't know how legislative works, but I know I can fuck a 16-year-old in Mississippi.
In Michigan, if her parents are dead, what's up? I mean,
How do you know that?
That's not how that
Hunter?
works.
Have you been
Wait.
dabbling in libertarianism? You rattled that off a little too fast for.
Sorry, it was improv. I was yes-anding.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I don't know. That was just a joke. That was a riff. I have no idea about.
No, I just know the age
consent
of
laws.
the age of consent or whatever.
Which brings me to one of my political beliefs. I think we need to raise the age of consent.
for
Higher, dude.
I say we lower the age of
30.
consent. 30? No, wait. I didn't. Don't cut in. I say we lower the age of consent for vaccinations. That was all. That's it.
I support that, dude. I'm down.
I don't think that our parents should be legally able to make decisions on our body until we have reached the age of 18.
Are you anti-circumcision then? Are you trying to reclaim your skin?
No, I'm good on that front.
I love asking people if they're circumcised or not. This is like the third podcast I've done that.
Before high school, I wouldn't have even questioned if everyone. I was like, no, everyone's circumcised because that's normal.
Until I saw porn and I was like, what is wrong with that dick, dude? I was like, I've never seen a penis like that.
You're crazy, dude. The first uncircumcised penis you saw was on porn. Mine was from a friend.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
a humanitarian. No, I'm just not filthy, bro. No, no, it was though a friend from Germany.
Oh yeah, Europeans they don't
Yeah.
they don't fuck with circumcision.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he also shaved his armpits, so the guy was kind of off.
That's a little sus.
Yeah, the guy was kind of off on most fronts. So let's talk about your podcast a little bit. Well, before the podcast, I met you through Kate Carms.
Shout out Kate Carms.
Shout out Kate Comedy. I realized though her YouTube channel is Kate Comedy, KAIT Comedy, but like anytime you say Kate Comedy, it's like you're still saying her name.
I know. I told her. I was like,
just
that's
with a
pretty
real
good, yeah.
like accent, like with a real East Coast accent. Kate Comedy.
Kate Comedy.
Kate Comedy.
Yeah. Has Kate ever done the fake accent to you?
Which accent?
The
Irish one?
No, the
or-
Wisconsin one, dude.
Oh,
She
yeah.
plays
Oh,
it
yeah.
up. Like Kate, and guys, if you're listening, Kate will lie to your face. Kate, like, will literally just say things. She's like, oh, yeah. You'll be like, hey, why is this X, Y, and Z? And she'll just say it. You're like, oh, that's interesting. Then, like, 4 days later, she's like, oh, no, I totally lied about
No, I was
that.
blackout drunk. That's usually
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's
Classic.
usually the ending of that's Kate's explanations. The end of it, but I don't know. I was drunk.
But I'm giving Kate way too much. I'm on your pod, dude. I can't be talking about Kate Carms, dude. She's got to pay me, okay?
Yeah,
Look at all this free promo.
Yeah, this
I'm
was a
giving you,
free
Kate.
plug. As most things, everything on this podcast is free. You're welcome, world. But I met you through Kate Kate Comedy, Kate Carms, and she was already doing videos and stuff with you, like promoting her Funniest Person in Grand Rapids set, like having people come out and whatnot. And she had mentioned she had been on your podcast, so that's how I had heard of you. And like through conversation, I'd also marketing major or no?
Advertising and public
Advertising.
relations.
Okay.
Which the irony of, if you've ever listened to my podcast, the irony of me working in public relations is absolutely insane.
pretty accurate. Yeah, ironic would be the word I'd look for. And public relations and advertising. But advertising, I have to say that, like, just your insight that you've given, not only to me, just the little insight, but you're someone who knows what they're talking about and how things need to be seen, or
I hope
need
so,
to be
dude.
to get seen, I guess. Yeah. And it's great to talk to someone about the analytics, the analytical part of how to get of podcasts. You know, how do things get seen, clickbaity type things, whatever. It's something that everyone frowns upon, like clickbait titles and things like that, but it's marketing, it's advertising, it's how do you get people to see your content, or putting content out there to be seen that will draw to more.
There's absolutely like an art of a rollout, and I'm sure you've learned that just as doing this. Like, in the beginning, you're just like, shit, I have no clue, dude. I mean, I have this content. I mean, making the content's the easy part. It's like, how the fuck do I convince people to listen to this?
Right.
Or like,
how do I make it easy for them to find?
I think the hard part is while also doing it authentically. Because, I mean, like, I see things that work for people and I love it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's so creative. That's so cool. But, like, I can't do that, you know? So finding how to be authentic to yourself but still polish and market, that's the hard part. And I guess my whole thing is, I know my podcast is absolutely insane, guys. The fact that I'm broadcasting live right now is fucking insane.
It was definitely a fourth. We had some thoughts about it. Like, we had conversations like, is this going to be okay? Because we don't do editing here. And I know you don't like to see your face or whatever, or show it. I don't know how you are with a mirror.
I'm trying to... I've always wanted to have people like my content before me, but also as you see how I look, not really pulling in a lot with the looks, you know.
So that's why you put so much content out. I understand.
Try to, yeah.
But so you grew up in Kalamazoo. We're going.
Origin
drift.
story time.
Dude,
if you've listened to our podcast, we drift while drinking and driving. We're just, I mean, like, we'll start an idea and I'll listen to them. Like, we didn't even talk about the one thing.
Right. I was like, I go through that a lot too. Like, I had like a question that I was getting to. That's why I started talking, and I don't know where we are. Hence the name. Where is this going? Any Jew. Kazoo kid, what brought you to Grand Rapids?
Well, I went to the wonderful institution of Grand Valley State University.
Go Lakers!
Laker for a lifetime. Get wet, Lakers.
Get wet. Hashtag get wet Lakers.
And it was a fun 4 years to end up with a $10 an hour job. So,
nice.
I mean, it was fun while it lasted, you know.
Of course.
But, yeah, I went to GV and, like, I initially wanted to go to MSU, but then I got deferred from MSU.
I got put on a wait list for MSU.
Yeah. But, like, ultimately I realized, I was like, Grand Rapids was the perfect thing to happen to me because it's, like, a big enough city. There is a creative scene. I mean, there's the music.
Right.
The comedy. I mean, there is, like, a culture, you know?
Right.
And so I lived freshman year in the dorms, then I moved downtown as soon as I could.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I just started, like, networking with all the artists because I've originally, like, sold T-shirts and shit. I mean, I'm still trying to do that, but it's much harder when you get
also
older.
show off the T, EmpureMedia.
Synergy, woo! Yeah, the website's not up, but...
But check out the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, EmpureMedia. There's some shit on there. Trying to do more of it.
I saw music videos and whatnot.
Yeah, I've got more music videos coming out here soon. But
yeah,
Grand Rapids, it was awesome. I mean, I learned everything. I learned how to do, like, event photography, how to network with people, how to do events, cover art, graphics. I mean, I was just, like, going to any show with a camera. I mean, people were not even inviting me, you know?
Right.
Like, I just showed up with the camera, and, like, everyone fucks with someone with a camera, you know? Like,
what's up, dude? I'm Mitch. You want me to shoot a clip for you real quick? Or, no, just stay there. Stay there. I got a picture.
Yeah, and then, like, people ended up liking them and loving them, and, I mean, I've been to, like, every venue in Grand Rapids, and I just love the Grand Rapids creative scene. Like, that was one of the best things that, like, probably ever happened to me was the 5 years I lived in GR.
Hell yeah. So that's also like my first step into the creative scene at all in Grand Rapids was music, like from afar, I guess, because I was a fan of Jake's music in like high school and stuff, and we'd go out to Grand Rapids for or I'd go out to Grand Rapids to watch them do random things, and I would see other Grand Rapids bands or whatever, but never got to like connect with them until I started dating someone in like the Grand Rapids music scene, and like
you slept your way to the top,
yeah,
dude.
I slept in to socialize, and it introduced me to that relationship introduced me to a lot of great artists. No, but my relationship, like especially in comedy, it was great to see how those mesh because they are creative endeavors in the same city. It's the creatives find each other no matter what their art is, and like my first meeting into that was like emceeing a show at the Tip Top.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I love Tip Top. That's probably my favorite.
It's such a diverse group, like diverse events come into that place.
So
it brings diverse people.
I mean, they would have like legitimate bands and stuff to sell, the $25 tickets. And I used to live like a block away from there. Yeah, I loved the West Side. Woo woo.
West Side represent. I'm on the Northwest Side now. It's pretty legit. We still come out to Buckfuck Zealand to shoot stuff, but it's cool. No, I much rather.
Yeah, there were a lot of Trump signs on my way here, and I even saw one of someone voting for Jesus 2020.
Oh, nice. That was a bold move. Jesus didn't win the election, but he did.
Well, not yet, dude.
Win the war.
It was rigged. I mean, if there's one thing we're gonna find out, neither Joe Biden nor Trump won. It was actually Jesus. That's the real conspiracy, guys. Q told me that. Q just emailed me.
Q, I just got the email from Q. You're not going to believe this, but Jesus did indeed win 2020. I saw on my way here for the first time in life, like in physical life, I saw a Gays for Trump sign, and
intersectionality, baby.
Hell yeah,
Love
dude.
it.
He's got all the demographics. But I drive here often. It's almost like that sign was put out like even weeks after the election, like after
maybe they finally had an awakening, they're like, I'm a gay Republican, dude.
which was the awakening, the gay part
of
the
yeah,
Republican.
Yeah. Like,
I'm a gay
all of
conservative.
A sudden, I want to lower taxes and suck dick. I did not know what came over me.
But it happened at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what okay.
Talk about a radical awakening, You're just like, man, yesterday I thought healthcare was a right and I liked women, and now
who knows what this night will bring? I can't even begin to think.
I love like gays for Trump, and like when people like section shit off like that. Like, there's one time people got upset with me at this joke on Facebook, but it was a photo of like all these white supremacists, and there was this it was a very butch woman in a wife beater, and it might not even been a woman or whatever, but like there's a photo that was like, wow. I was like, this is the type of inclusivity I love to see. Like,
right.
I was like, the white supremacists are now gay friendly, as long as you're white.
As long as you're white, yeah.
I'm just like, I love like, and that there are even like articles of like gay people in the alt-right and women be like, why are we treated so poorly? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
that's the war on white women is also, it's been
dude, I'm on the front lines of the war on white women. You're talking to the motherfucking general right here, dude. I am so happy white women have been fucking up this year, because I think for the first time, maybe straight white men are not the worst people alive. It is white women, dude. They stepped up. They died in front of the bullets,
Yeah, and it's for that, while not acknowledging that they've been at the side of the white man who's been okay, I'm not gonna go on record defending the plight of the white man either. I'm not getting into this, but it has been fun. It's just been fun for comedy, for me personally, because I don't know why, and this is an equality thing that I think we need to address, but why are jokes about women seen as punching down? That's something you guys need to focus on. Sorry, but still, if that's true equality, I think. Now I forgot where I was going. Oh, and the war on white women has made it easier to make jokes about white women.
And they just can't handle
mostly
it.
crowd work stuff because, like, the jokes about white women that I've ever done have been the disruptive white women at shows to where we have to comment. And it's made it a lot easier now that, like, there's a stigma against white women all over.
Dude, Hillary Clinton is the infinite ammo glitch for sexism. Like, every time I see Hillary Clinton, I'm just like, you make it so easy. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it's like any, like, genuine critique you have of Hillary Clinton, it's like, you hate her because she's a woman. And it's like that... What a scapegoat, you know? Like, white women, dude, voted for Trump more than white guys.
Yeah, which I still don't understand.
Me neither, dude. But
was that a fist pump for being a white man? Like, don't count us out yet.
White guys have not gotten better. We're just not the worst.
Accurate. And I think that's America right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
America's not gotten better or worse. No, I don't think it's gotten worse. Like, I hear a lot of people saying, like, we're more separated as a country now than we've ever been. Like, completely glossing over the period where there was actual segregation, like,
well, dude,
legally,
now the crazy part is, like, the shit I see online is, like, the woke people have become, like, pro-segregation. And it's like, dude, this is not it's not just... reverse it.
Was it Wayne State who had the like the POC only cafe or whatever? Well, there was both.
Well, one of them.
I think it was non-POC.
There was one for U of M. I think it was the U of M one, but it wasn't
U of M Dearborn, or just U of M. Because I want to say it was further east.
Maybe it was, but there was one where it was like they did have like a segregated one, but you found out it wasn't even a real coffee shop. It was like a fucking Zoom room. And it's like, I'm like, I mean, honestly, like, if a bunch of loser ass white people want to have a white only Zoom thing, just let them fucking have it, you know? They will probably shut the fuck up. Like, just let them have a Zoom.
Plus, the content that comes out of those meetings will vilify them in the end. Like, there's, you know what I say? Let the racist establishments that exist do so exist, and then the fruit that comes of those will show them to be what they really are. And
dude, I know. I mean, like,
this is my okay to all white supremacists to be like, hey, just do what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like when people get mad, you know, it'd be like some white supremacist goes to a college, they try and get him off. Like, no, let that guy go speak so everyone there will be like, this guy's a dumbass, you know? And like,
the problem is too many of them are too charismatic. That's the issue.
Yeah, no. White supremacists, if they got charisma, unfortunately there's some legs.
That's the big danger. The danger isn't the racism.
It's the charisma.
It's the charisma behind it. And I think that's what we really need to battle, charismatic people.
Yeah.
And it starts with the
eugenics program for charismatic people. Like, if you're too outgoing, you cannot procreate. Like, this is fucking shit up.
Meanwhile, all we are trying to do is generate a following.
Yeah. Listen, we got to stop creating charismatic people. It is really making this market hard.
Right.
You know?
So if you can do me a favor, follow my podcast. I have a whole series on how we just need to stop charisma. But I try to do it in, like a fun, entertaining way. Come on next week. I don't know where I was going with that. Any Jew. So where did the video creating or video shooting start? Was it with the music scene?
Oh, dude, that was like that was my first creative project. I made videos in high school. I mean, we made like little sketches. We made like a 10-minute war movie.
Oh, short film?
Yeah, like we had all the airsoft guns and vests and shit. And so I got into video, but then when I went to college, I mean, you know how doing video goes. It's a multiple man process,
right.
like just the organizing, getting everything set up. I like didn't have the infrastructure to do it, so I kind of started gravitating more towards photography because I mean, you can like in one, it's easier to distribute, you know, rather than take videos all night and edit. You can just snap photos, get them out there. And I always did like photography, and like people told me that I should like try it,
Right.
and I did, and I just ended up loving it and got like pretty good at it. And so I did that for like concerts and stuff. But I've always wanted to make videos, like, but I had to like, kind of put it on the back burner, you know.
And I would assume photos are easier to edit.
Oh yeah.
Than video. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to work on still objects, definitely, I'm sure. But so the video was mostly music then after high school.
Yeah, after high school, I really wanted to start making music videos, and like I'd film a bunch, but the indie music video game is fucked up, dude. Because like the amount of like if you want to make it good, it's a lot of effort, but you're like maybe making $200, and you gotta rely on someone being willing to shoot, you know, for like 7 hours. Because it's like I can't just record 2 hours of you and have this be worth it for both of us. You know? I mean.
Yeah, you're not going to get the quality you're looking for.
Yeah.
But also with less footage, you would assume easier to work on.
I mean, it is easier. It's just not good.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd rather have like 4 fire videos than like 10 apartment rap music videos, you know? And then like the money wasn't really there either, at least for, you got to go to Detroit if you want to make money because those guys pay cash.
Right. So when you were doing pictures and stuff for like concerts and things like that, were you like freelance photography, or were you literally just going to concerts and taking pictures?
A mix of both. Then other times, like I would go with an artist, you know. And I mean, really, that was just for me to network, get people's names, like know who's who, and then like I'd reach out to them after, like, hey man, here's my services, here's what I can do, or like, because I mean, getting the photos was more valuable to me than money, you know, like $80 or like getting in the concert, going behind stage, getting all the photos, like that was worth it way more just to get the experience, you know, and like shit to put on Instagram, I guess.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, with Instagram and Twitter and everything, everyone became a photographer, so your job is pretty shitty at that point, I'm sure. I mean, it's besides like that's what all the post like all the post editing and stuff like that, that's really what separates photographers from anyone with an iPhone, it seems.
Yeah, and the iPhones keep getting better and better.
Exactly.
Like, dude, I'm like, this is like
that margin keeps getting thinner, you know.
You know, I'm like, to me, there's just something better about like having the like I don't know, it might be sentimental of me or goofy, but it feels more real than, you know, just like.
Oh yeah,
bang.
no, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be this easy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So what kind of bands or concerts were you shooting?
Just all local rap.
All local rap, hell yeah.
I mean, some of them are awesome. Grand Rapids is so much talented guys.
Oh, definitely.
Like, but underground rap shows are either hit or fucking missed.
Yeah. No, that's the same in any city. I'm sure some are better than others, but.
And the weird thing is probably rap and open mics have about the same male to female ratio, which I'm like, it's
mostly
just,
male.
Yeah, all guys, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and when there were like hot girls at the rap shows, it's like, well, they're here for the rapper, you know?
Right.
Like, hey,
they're not here
goofy ass guys here, you know. I'm one of them too.
They're not here for the audience. They're not here for people who show up to local rap shows. It's quite the same in comedy shows too. It's always guys, except for girlfriends of comedians for some reason. Unless at Parrots, the stray night where.
And if she's going to your open mic, fellas, she loves you.
Yeah,
okay?
That's a keeper usually, unless she's just trying to fuck other comedians, which unfortunately we've seen. But it's great networking. What can I say? An open mic is a great place to meet people.
I love girls who fuck like one type of guy. You know, like I only fuck comedians. Like there's like a whole new subset of girls in LA who only fuck streamers. Like I'm not joking, dude. Like
game streamers, like Twitch
like
streamers?
Twitch streamers. You know, like there would be I don't know the name for, but you know, girl like Jersey chase. I don't know what it's called. You know, girls who only fuck athletes or only
like
fuck rappers.
cleat chasers. Or...
Yeah, cleat chasers. I'm like, that's just awesome that like media has grown so much that like there's
puck
girls
bunnies.
Who, like,
that's what I was thinking.
I
of.
only fuck podcasters. Like, there's a girl out there.
Unless you have a podcast, don't talk to me.
No, seriously. Somewhere out there, there's a girl who's only fucking podcasts.
I don't even care how many listeners you have. 3 downloads a month. Oh, oh, you're just starting. Oh, let me help you. What if? But what? It was almost like not a good luck Chuck, but that type of thing where she met podcasters, helped them build a following, and then just left them in the middle of the night.
That one would be a goddamn hero.
Exactly.
Just helping all these broken men get their podcast going, and then leave them. I mean,
be a goddess. A female Jamie or a female Brian Redband.
A pillar of podcasting is being mentally ill. Would you agree with me?
Well,
on
yeah,
that?
especially if you're doing solo podcasts. But no, not even solo. I mean, every sense. Just thinking that you're like, especially with the saturated market.
Oh,
right?
yeah, there's 1.7 million podcasts out there, guys.
And you're like, you know what? I'll join the noise. I have something valuable to say.
Well, if anyone's listening, we would never say valuable.
Right. No.
We
I would
say
never say that
things,
anything.
that's for damn sure. We love baseless claims.
I have something to say. I wouldn't call it valuable. But to have the audacity to be like, you know what, my voice should be heard, or even my voice will be heard. This is going out into the void. People may enjoy this. People may, but yeah, it's a definite arrogance.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know L. Ron Hubbard, right, of
Yes.
Scientology?
Yes.
Well, he like made he was like extremely mentally ill and like not okay, and he kind of Scientology was a way for him to like cure himself of it, because there's a lot of things in it that were like very specific to just him.
Right, and that's his coping.
That's his coping, and that's what my podcast is. I'm trying to cure myself through podcasts.
By starting a religion.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Well, religion podcast.
What's
whatever.
the difference?
What's the difference?
I think the great podcaster / comedian, world renowned, Chris D'Elia said it best. I'm trying to start a cult, my babies, and that he did.
Well, he was very literal on the baby's part.
Yeah, as time would tell it. Shout out, Chris D'Elia.
Shout out Chris D'Elia. Woo woo.
Woo, woo, woo. Anyways, speaking of, this isn't the first time I've heard you talk about Chris D'Elia, because I listened to your episode with Ben Bradshaw today.
Oh shit.
And
I hate Chris D'Elia.
I know, I heard
him so much.
But it was so funny because I heard Ben Bradshaw, as soon as you guys started talking about Chris D'Elia, Ben Bradshaw say R.I.P., which is what he says on stage too when he starts to talk about. He has a bit about peaking, and it's funny, but I won't give it away. If you want to hear it, wait 3 months or so and find Ben Bradshaw and open mic somewhere.
At Parrots.
Yeah, at Parrots. He'll be there. Parrots Lounge.
That's how you do a promo, baby.
Every Thursday night at 9 o'clock, except for this week because it's Thanksgiving, and we may still be doing a show, but on Wednesday, the busiest bar night of the year. So
We'll see about that.
except for in 2020. But
Super spreader.
yeah, it's going to be outside. There's heaters. Don't get too close
Come
to the
get
heaters.
drunk and kill your grandparents tomorrow.
It's you know
Cash that inheritance.
Yeah, Wednesday will be a beautiful super spreading event that you can then take home to your grandparents on Thanksgiving, because I know no one's listening to those rules. And we're gathering in 15 plus households. What up? Gang gang. Oh, I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah. Hearing Ben Bradshaw say rest in peace about Chris D'Elia as if he's dead, but like no one's heard from him. So it makes sense.
Do you think he'll bounce back? Part of me feels like he probably will.
I'm waiting for like the day I open up my podcast tab in Spotify and just see congratulations.
Well, dude, I mean,
pop back up.
He could definitely, like, if he just wanted to make money and he didn't care, he could definitely like rebrand as kind of like a grifter, you know,
Oh,
like
they
the
say a
PC
Christian.
police got me, you know, like because like the thing about going conservative in comedies, it's just a guaranteed check because there's no good conservative comedians, and those people are so desperate for like right-leaning content that like literally anybody can do it, you know.
And that's why, well, I don't know. It's hard to say that they're also conservative. The comedians that I'm thinking of, like Tim Dillon, he got called Legion of Skanks in general.
I would say Legion of Skanks is like apolitical. Like they have no ideology other than just the dirtiest podcast in the world.
And that is another combat of PC culture. Like is just raunchiness. And raunchiness isn't a political party. And neither technically is PC culture, but it's been associated with more left-leaning anything.
Yeah, I love when I see in the news, it's like conservative comedian Tim Dillon. I'm like, he's not really conservative. I mean, probably more like libertarian.
Yeah, but he shows conservative understanding, and that for some reason that's something that, like, one of the most basic lessons to learn when you're forming arguments is acknowledging counterpoints. Like, you have to acknowledge that they believe this, and
here's where you're wrong, Hunter. You don't have to do any counterpoints when arguing online. Just say whatever you want. Ignore anything they say.
Ignore anything, especially fact.
Yeah, do not ever change your opinion. Facts don't care about your feelings. Your feelings don't care about facts. It goes both ways.
It goes both ways, as we all should. And no, okay. Sorry, I think I had another awakening. So I've heard about your podcast through Ben Bradshaw being a guest on your podcast, through you obviously talking about your podcast, through Kate also being a guest on your podcast. But Kate has been upset with the stances that your podcast has been most recently taking, or rather the way the conversation's going.
Oh shit! Is it getting hot in here, guys?
People don't like political talk, Mitch, and I don't know. No, that was awful.
We did one political episode where we just got super drunk election night.
Oh yeah, as we all should have.
I mean, like, yeah, we'll probably never do that again. I'll be totally honest. The views, people not fucking with it. You can believe that or not. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we also more did it because like, I just want to hear in like 2 years, like what we were feeling and thinking that night, and like seeing if things ended up being right down the road or if we're wrong.
It's a great time capsule.
Yeah, I mean that really is kind of our purpose with the podcast, is trying to just make it. It's like a time capsule of like just what you're doing, what's in the news. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, we hope people like it, but obviously, like, it's not for everyone.
Right, and I think that's why I throw like an ulterior motive into my podcast. Like, I'm highlighting artists and stuff. It's all bullshit. All right, I don't give a shit about what you guys are doing. I'm here so people can see me as a nice person or whatever. I'm giving other people a chance. No, see me first. Come to my shit. I'm the only advertiser on this podcast for a reason. No, I'm completely kidding. Sorry, I had a mini meltdown. But I think we're all just, maybe it's a millennial thing. We're all just trying to be heard. I think that's the cause for the influx or the oversaturation of this market. It's that the majority of people who have podcasts are millennials, because the majority of people who know how to make a podcast are millennials, and then you have we have outsourced millennials who have been forced to help boomers try to break into media again, which is fun. It's cool. I can't listen to an old person on.
I love old. Sometimes I'm really bored at work. I just look up #podcasters of Instagram. I'll just go through till I find one that looks cringy, and I'll pull it up and check it out. I mean, there will be people, dude, who have like 200 podcast episodes, and they will have 5 iTunes reviews. And I'm just like, I mean, like, I looked up my pod stats, and we were in like the top 5% of the 1.7 million.
Right.
But the top 5% is 88,000 other podcasts.
Hey guys, you do math anytime? That's not a lot. It's like a lot.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I could not imagine, like, seriously, like, doing a podcast for years and have it never, like, grow.
Right.
Like, I mean,
if you're never seeing it, like, and at that point you can't be making money from it.
no.
Unless it's like somehow setting you up to do other things. Like, well, I don't know if you realize this, but I've actually spoken on this. I have over 200 episodes on a podcast. So you should let me do this lecture at your school. Maybe somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is true. Like some sort of credentials or something.
But also, you could have 200 episodes of a podcast on eating shit. Like that, no one's going to listen to all of them.
Dude, people might listen to that one. That'd be a very niche ASMR one. Me eating literal shit for 1 hour.
Half of it's the gag.
Producer, would you listen to that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. See, we got our first Patreon subscriber right here, dude.
Wait, would you listen to it or would you pay for it? Those are two very different questions.
It was implied, okay? We got him in on the ground floor of our shit-eating ASMR podcast.
I think something troubles me now that we were talking about literal shit. I assume you've been in your backyard at some point, like barefoot.
Go on, yes.
Barefoot or in a park or something. Now you know the sensation of when dog shit, presumably, like goes in between your toes. Like when you step on dog shit, you know the feeling. You've done it before. For some reason, this experience is universal, but it feels good.
That's a hot take.
I think the only reason there's this negative connotation around stepping in dog
That's
shit
more controversial
is
than anything I've ever said.
It's the fact that it feels great, but it smells disgusting because it's shit. I think we need to remove the stigma.
Normalize stepping in shit.
Yes.
Go off, King. Go off, King.
Normalize stepping in shit for self-care. It's spa treatment anywhere.
Yeah, dude, people pay thousands of dollars in what I presume Asia, to step in shit for their feet.
What I'd presume to be Asia. Those massage.
Yeah.
But I think there's some scientific breakdown that needs to be done. Like, why do people frown upon that feeling? I think it's just because, like, the anxiety that comes with you're like, oh, I know that this is
icky.
Yeah, it's poop on my foot. So, like, it smells gross, but that felt really good, but I don't want to say that.
This is a very controversial take, Hunter.
It's something I'm trying to get out to the masses. I just need people to reshape their way of thinking when it comes to stepping in dog feces or human feces, for that matter. It could go either way. I've never stepped in human feces, so I can't say that the sensation is.
I mean, I hope I haven't. I may have at some point.
Yeah, you're right.
I've never checked, I guess.
True. I've never also researched to see what the difference is. So even if I had checked, I wouldn't know. But I also used to have Great Danes, and
oh, dude, holy shit.
Their dumps eerily similar to a human's. So it, once again, could go either way.
Dude, did you know deer shit little like jelly beans?
This was a mind-blowing breakthrough.
I did not know that till this year. I was walking in the woods.
Last fall, I also had. Oh, you were walking in the woods when you saw it? Okay. I was
like, what is this, dude? I was like, who dropped jelly beans in the woods?
Why do they taste weird. I don't. These jelly beans are squishier than I thought. They're more like beans. That's what I assumed deer shit would have the consistency of, is lima beans or something. Anyways, I also had that mind-blowing breakthrough. I was doing community service at, where is it? Critter Barn, right down the road.
Were they paying you to say that, dude?
No. I was like, quick, what's our sponsor? Critter Barn. No. I was doing community service there, and I was cleaning out like a goat pen, and I watched a goat shit, and it literally just looked like a sack of marbles opened up and just poured out of his butt. And I was like, is this their shit? I had to ask the guy. Also interestingly enough, the guy who worked there was like the head of telling people what to do at Critter Barn at a petting zoo. Believe it or not, got his job from just doing community service there 5 years before, which is
not bad.
Obviously a great place to work. So I forgot where we were.
We got lost in the shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that we got talking. It was. I'm sorry that I'm so easily distracted by human and or animalistic feces. But EmpureMedia, now did Empure itself come from the photography and the video stuff in the beginning?
Because I made T-shirts in high school too, so I did video, and then I was like, oh, I want to make T-shirts, and I was like, well, also that's the best way to get your name out there,
right?
And I just really liked the name Empure, and like no one had done it anywhere, so I was just like, yeah, I like that. That's a cool name, and it's like kind of counterculture,
right?
People like when you say it, they ask twice, like, what is it, you know? And so then. Like, I mean, I guess the ultimate goal is to have it just be some sort of media label, kind of
right.
Like we'll do like video, cover art, graphics, like just it's just like an umbrella name,
right?
You know?
Hell yeah.
I mean, like ideally, I would like to just not have a boss, and,
right?
You know, just wake up, because I don't even know what to tell people, and people are like,
"So what do you do?"
I'm like, so I mean, I don't do photos now because the world shut down.
Right.
You know?
What is there to take a picture of? This wasteland?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So, I mean, like, I do photos. I, like, do graphics and shit. But I would never say I'm a graphic designer, you know, or, like, a clothes designer. I'm like, I just make T-shirts I think are cool,
right.
Or maybe
I design graphics, but I'm not a graphic designer.
Yeah. I mean, and then, like, even... It was like, you know, when you first start doing open mics and people are like, are you a comedian? It's like,
I tell jokes. I'm trying.
Dude, no.
To do
I'm
this
trying.
thing. Right. I'm trying to follow a dream. What am I, a dreamer? Okay. Not in the political sense.
Yeah. So I just say I'm an idiot in obscurity. Like, I'm just trying to get something to pop off, you know, whether it's the podcast.
I'm just trying to lose a job and not worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
And just like be able to do whatever you want. You know, I'd like to be in a position where like if I want to wake up and, you know, drive over here and do pods with you all day, or like do like the back end shit, photos, I can do that. If I want to write a script that day or like go do an open mic or whatever, like just be in a position where like you can do your creative shit and make money.
Or even like your creative shit just involves your everyday life. Like, and that's what I would love to live a life that just feeds your creativity, feeds the content that you're trying to put out. But like, because my ideal work week, as it were, would not consist of going to deliver packages.
Yeah.
Up in buttfuck nowhere. It would consist of having the time to work on clipping and editing this podcast. And,
or no, have an intern do it, dude.
Well, yeah, but I got to start somewhere first.
Okay, yeah.
But
your morning routine is I'll spend 90 minutes clipping shit, uploading it, like.
Right, or just, and then, you know, I'll spend time on my creativity, like honing or writing and shit like that. Just like trying to work on comedy bits before going to an open mic if I can. When open mics are operating and stuff. Like, I'd love for my actual work week to be dedicated to the craft that I've been.
Yeah.
But I haven't reached that point yet. I need sponsors. And not like the ones that got me through AA. I need Kidding.
Bazinga!
Heyo. Well, so we are at the state of Empure now, which is no longer photography. Are you still making T-shirts and shiz?
Oh yeah, dude, I got so much shit saved in my basement because like at the beginning of this year, I like really. Have you ever had a moment where you're like, do a serious like check the system? Like, is this realistic? Is this like worth my time and effort?
Right.
And like, kind of the last year has been like rebuilding my life, and I was like, man, like I don't have enough money now. I don't really have the network and infrastructure to sell T-shirts. So I'm gonna like put a break on that,
Right.
and like re-examine how I'm gonna go at it. And I'm so fucking glad I did not buy more T-shirts and shit. Because come March, I mean, any rollout I would have planned or done, moot. You know, I mean, like I saved myself so much time and money, and I've just been doing the podcast.
Right.
Like trying to like do more creative shit with people. So and then like get myself to a position where I have a little more name recognition, so people would be more.
So people can associate my name with these things and these products. And I think the biggest part of that is the collaborative work, like working with other creatives and the networking to also get your name in other people's ears who wouldn't normally hear it. So I'm glad that people also took this time where we're not supposed to technically socialize or whatever, but to still network and work together creatively, albeit not physically. Or physically. I don't care what you're doing, all right? I just kill your grandma and...
Yeah, it's not my grandma, dude.
Hit me up after. But it's not my grandma. I already got my negative test, bro.
All right, and then like... what the fuck was I just gonna say? And then like the podcast too, it kind of just really naturally came because I got really into podcasts, and I'm one of those people where if I listen or watch someone do something enough, I like have to do it.
Right.
And I was working at this super shitty factory job, like saving up to move with my girlfriend at the time to Chicago. Working this shitty factory job, and I was like, dude, yeah, I'm definitely gonna start the podcast. And like I'd been recording them, I just hadn't released it, and I didn't even have a name yet. And I was like, just had a list. I don't even remember the list of names I have, but I'm in this factory working on this press, and I just started writing down names in my head. And then on break, I went and Googled them to see if anyone did it. And I was like, I need a show name that's like self-aware, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but vague enough and commercially friendly. Because the whole goal of the podcast, mine at least, was make it look as legitimate as possible, but like be a joke. I mean, the name is if anyone's listening.
It's all a front. I know you're not gonna hear this, but
yeah, but like if you randomly saw it and you clicked on it, you'd be like, oh, this looks legitimate,
right?
And so like my name is not anywhere in the host bio. Like there's nothing about who I am or what I do. It's just the name of the show, the thing. And I remember going out on break, and I was like, if anyone's listening, nothing, dude, nothing. And I was like, if I do not do this, I will look back in a year and just be... And, like, if I saw someone else do, if anyone's listening, pod, and that's happened to me for a lot of things. Like, I've, like, called or had an idea, didn't follow through on it, and then, like, someone's making $1 million doing it. It's just like, fuck, man, So...
I'm not missing out on another one.
Yeah, I'm not missing out on another one.
Hell yeah.
And then, like, this is where I was going. Like, and from going to open mics, I knew all these talented, hilarious comedians from, like, my work with people in, like, the Grand Rapids music scene.
Right.
Just in general, I was like, I have a pretty wide, like, catalog of just interesting people who, like, one, I think are talented and are, like, cool guys, So... Yeah, and I was like, and like
you're anywhere from John Batch to Kate Carnes.
Yeah,
that in itself is a wide range. I'm not sure if you are aware, but I've got
who else? I had Brandon Cooley on one. Yeah. He is one of the funniest guys. I loved watching him. He's probably the smartest episode we've ever done.
Oh, he does it all for the bit, man. He's a smart guy. Alex Eakin. I just saw him.
Oh,
in
yep. I
Indiana.
just did him too.
Yeah.
I just did Alex.
I just did Alex too. It was hot.
And he's super fun, dude. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. He had me crying when I saw him one time.
He was super hilarious this past week when I saw him in not Indianapolis,
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, yeah.
And he just looks like a comedian too.
Dude, he showed up in like a delivery outfit, like his work uniform, and I'm like, what do you will go up in that and still like no one's gonna question it just because he's funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy just left his day job to come do better here
For the bit,
yeah, it's everything's for the bit, dude.
Yeah, my whole life is one big bit. Like, the podcast in itself was literally a bit. I mean, the names, if anyone's listening, and like, I'll be honest, for the first like 10 or 15 episodes, we recorded them as if no one was listening. I mean, like, we just said some outlandish shit too, because it's like, no one's ever going to listen to this,
Right.
you know? And then each week, as I look at the analytics and it grows a little bit, I'm kind of like, like, there's 70 hours of me drunk,
Possibly
bullshitting.
incriminating.
I try not to do it. I'm pretty good about incriminating shit. That's
Yeah.
for the Patreon.
That's for the page.
Dude, the Patreon,
You're gonna have to
guys,
get behind a paywall.
No,
to
when my
take me
paywall
to
comes
jail.
out, guys, there's a whole aspect of my life that has never been mentioned on this podcast. We'll just put it that way.
For good reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still need to do some research on the statute of limitations.
Is it Patreon or OnlyFans?
Well, I actually haven't decided yet. I'm glad you brought that up because part of me feels like doing an OnlyFans for a podcast would be a great bit. And
I think it's also been done, but continue.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but just telling people, yeah, I have an OnlyFans. They're like, for what? I'm like, sometimes I put photos of my butthole on there, and other times it is mostly podcasts.
But yes, I have to say most of the time it's podcasting. But some people like my balls. What can I say?
Shockingly.
Enough, people like my balls.
Shout out Nutted on my balls. Follow him on Twitter. He's very funny, guys.
Very funny. Now, why isn't if anyone's listening on Twitter?
No, we got banned from Twitter.
Oh,
Which we've extensively highlighted in my podcast. I don't want to bring it up on this one because every time I do a podcast,
just another
someone
can of
asks
worms.
me, and I'm like, God, dude, if like anyone who for some reason in the future like listens to, you know, all the guest shit, they're
Right.
like, this guy tells the same fucking story every single time, dude.
Well, I think if anyone told you, no, we got banned off Twitter, like, you could probably come to a decent conclusion.
It was not
yourself.
for racial slurs. I just want to
Well, never mind. Now I'm lost. No, but you could probably come to a reasonable conclusion of it was a noble cause, and I think we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, shit post, dude. You live and die by the shit posts you make, you know?
And that's going on my damn tombstone. All right, where are we at time-wise, Kyle? 107. Hot.
Damn,
All right.
we're done with our legally obligated time. This is actually part of a work release program for me.
Well, yeah, I'm just glad we can get you back to Fillmore by 7, so it's cool. Wait, no, I don't even know what time it is. By 9 p.m. Cool. Litty titty.
You guys doing another one tonight?
No, thank God. I got to piss like a racehorse. No, we used to try to record multiple in a day, but then we just started later in the day. Not as conducive. And we started recording the video live, and it'd be hard to capture viewers for 2 hours straight, which I don't think we would.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty mentally exhausted right now.
Exactly.
If you're listening to this, look me in the eyes. Follow me on something. I don't know, Instagram, if anyone's listening. And just download the podcast, guys. You, right there. This is live. How many people are watching this?
Oh, right now, maybe one.
One?
Yeah, one person. Oh, you're talking. This is real intimate
This
now.
is mano y mano. Well, I just assumed your gender. I'm sorry. But to the one person listening right now, and who is this? Do they have a name?
We can't see the name. The analytics won't tell us.
I don't even know if that's right.
Damn, the listener might be us. But if right now, go to podcast app, download if anyone's listening, give it a 5 stars, and then go do Hunter's podcast, give him 5 stars.
I'll take
write
it.
a nice review.
I'll take honesty too. I don't care.
Yeah, but leave a mean one, but 5 stars.
Yeah,
that's
just
the
so
only
it seems
rule.
more honest.
Yeah.
But
Listen, I love the podcast, but I fucking hate your guts. Too.
right. I love the podcast. Hate this dude's voice. What
Yeah.
about the podcast? I'm so confused. So Mitch Jump, follow if anyone's listening on Instagram, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, I don't know, Alexa, play that bitch.
Play if anyone's listening.
Play if anyone's listening. Follow his Instagram from the jump with a V for the
Sure,
U.
yeah. FROMTHEJVMP.
Nice. And like the page if anyone's listening on Facebook. Like our page on Facebook. Where is this going? Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. H Marcel the Show. Also, you can follow our podcast page now on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod. And leave us.
What about the
email?
engineer, dude? Gotta plug him too.
Yeah. Also, you can follow our beautiful producer, engineer extraordinaire on Instagram at Further Closer. Further dot closer. My bad. He was late to the game, and you can also find his music, as it's so beautifully put, in multiple bands on Spotify. Further Closer and Fever Haze, and you know what? You can also look on iTunes, I believe. The Overheaters Bag of Tricks album, very great album. Any Jew, I'm getting lost here. Follow us on Facebook, or like us on Facebook. Where is this going? Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Like and review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube. Leave a comment. Email us. Whatever you want. Listen with us next week, and we're just having fun here. Our audio should be up.
We just like to have fun.
Yeah, we just like to have fun. So if you guys don't know the schedules, we shoot on Sunday, video on Sunday, audio's trying to come up on Monday. And thank you guys for joining us. This has been Where Is This Going with Mitch. I've been Hunter. Have a great night,
We're
y'all.
out.